everybody. Welcome to DC Daily on DC Universe. I am Tiffany Smith, and it's September 21st, 2018. You know it's Friday because I am joined by the rest of the DC Daily cast. We are also going to have an interview with Sam Humphries, who wrote Harley Quinn number 50, plus our panel of the week. But for now, let's get into the news. We have got some breaking news. Todd Phillips released an Instagram video captioned, "Camera test with sound, Joker." After seeing a photo of Joaquin Phoenix earlier in the week as Arthur, we now have what appears to be Phoenix transforming into the Clown Prince of Crime, with a smile spreading across his face. Phillips and Phoenix's Joker film is slated for a 2019 release. Stay tuned here to DC Daily for more as it develops. In other news, actor Jeremy Davies has been cast as Dr. John Deegan in this year's crossover event featuring Arrow, The Flash, and Supergirl. The character will draw attention from the heroes for his treatment of inmates at Arkham Asylum, in a story that will also feature Ruby Rose as Batwoman. The crossover event kicks off on December 9th. The launch of the brand new DC collection by Jim Lee. This line of collectibles features an array of items including graphic tees, Funko Pop figures, and statues depicting or inspired by Jim Lee's legendary Batman artwork. Items in the collection are available now exclusively at ThinkGeek and at GameStop, with more items planned to be added to the collection throughout 2018 and 2019. Totally going to be on my birthday wish list. And if that's not enough Batman gear for you, be sure to check out the DC Universe shop, where currently there are exclusive Batman the Animated Series inspired items, including phone cases, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and more. Also on my birthday wish list. I know it's on all of your guys' too.
All right, can we just say, like, wow. Because Batman the Animated Series phone cases, we need new wardrobe for the show, definitely. And Jim Lee
and toys? Boom!
Sold.
So
easy sell.
I'm all in. I'm all in. That's easy.
We just gave everybody looking for the perfect gift for their geek in their life the best place to go shopping. So we know we have been hitting you guys with a lot of Batman stuff this week because of Batman Day, and of course, we love Batman here on DC Universe. But we wanted to take a moment to spotlight some of the great non-Batman books you should be checking out on DC Universe as well. Classic books like the first volume of Jack Kirby's New Gods or Grant Morrison's run on Doom Patrol. There is also the entire first-year run of Marv Wolfman and George Perez on New Teen Titans. And tons more recent comics, including the 2001 Quiver storyline in Green Arrow. So if you haven't signed up yet, what are you doing?
Yeah, seriously, what are you doing? You need to sign up so that you can be reading these comics just like I am. So I've been so excited for all of the casting announcements that we've been talking about for the adaptations of these shows. So I am going to be diving into Doom Patrol and New Teen Titans, and I'm very, very stoked.
Yeah.
I am also excited.
When I think of Doom Patrol, I always think of the Grant Morrison run because it's so epic. And when I was looking into it, I didn't even realize Doom Patrol came out 25 years before that, in 1963. But that's how great Grant Morrison's run was in the late 80s. It's the one that I always think of when I think of Doom Patrol, and they are the world's strangest superheroes. So I say, get back into it if you haven't already. And New Teen Titans, I like to think of it as like the Muppet Babies of superheroes. I don't know, because they're young, they're impressionable, they're scamps, they get into trouble and occasionally save the world.
I'm passing away over here. I can't handle that. Speaking of defining runs, I am so psyched to revisit Green Arrow Quiver, which they just uploaded on DC Universe. It's a friend of the show, Kevin Smith, and Phil Hester, redefining Green Arrow. It's a great place to jump in if you've never experienced a character before.
It's also, I think, a really solidifying example of how great of a writer Kevin Smith is. Those stories,
absolutely.
It's so good, and the art by Phil Hester is amazing. So unique takes. It's wonderful.
Green Arrow was dead at the beginning of the series. It takes a hell of a creative team to resurrect him and make him cool again, and that's exactly what they did.
And now your checks from Kevin Smith are coming from both of you guys. Being like, he's such a great writer. He really is a great writer.
I love him so much.
All right, you guys, the new Hawkman series has been a huge hit for DC, but considering the creative team of Robert Venditti and Brian Hitch, we are really not surprised at all. We can't wait to see what happens in each new issue of The Winged Warrior, and artist Brian Hitch teased what's up ahead with this image of the line art from Hawkman #7's
cover.
You guys, how good was this line art? How good was that?
Oh, it was fantastic. This whole thing is like, it's kind of like this intergalactic scavenger hunt where he's trying to piece together his own life, and then having that line art where you basically have all of these reincarnations of Carter like popping out behind him.
Hawkman, more like Hawkmen. They're all there. So exciting, and I love seeing Brian Hitch. He's an artist that I grew up with. He has been blowing my mind since I was a kid. So to see the line art, like finished art is gorgeous, but to see sometimes the blueprint behind some of that genius, it's so cool. So I'm glad that Brian Hitch tweeted that out. It's the coolest.
And I just have to say, being a comic fan, it never gets old seeing the different phases of the artwork that gets the comic books that we get to read every week. It's so cool. I love it.
All right, you guys, well, that is it for the news for today. But now our own Hector Navarro and Sam Humphries are going to sit down to discuss the landmark 50th issue of Harley Quinn.
Hey everyone, I'm Hector Navarro, and I'm sitting down with Sam Humphries, the writer of Harley Quinn number 50. How's it going, Sam?
What's up, man? I'm
it's
great.
here.
How you doing?
The book is
I know,
out.
It's finally out.
You have given birth.
I am relieved to have it out. It's a book we've been planning for a really long time.
Yeah.
A lot of people put some amazing work into it. And I'm just excited for people to read it and enjoy it and react to it.
Now, even though we're coworkers on DC Daily,
yes,
I'm not going to be pulling any softball questions, but
really?
This is getting hardball.
I'm going to tear
ready?
you apart. I don't think you're ready.
Get ready for compliments.
Okay,
Here we go. First question, Sam, real question. What makes Harley Quinn as a character suited to this kind of story versus a character like Batman or Wonder Woman or one of those great standbys?
Harley is she's a comedic character. And she is always herself 100%. So you could throw her into any situation and she'll always be herself. So you could team her up with anybody. She can fight anyone. She can go to Metropolis or Krypton. She's always herself.
Apocalypse,
see? There you go. Well, you've been reading. Okay, I'm impressed.
A little bit.
But then you have something like issue 50 where she destroys all of DC continuity. And reality itself is twisted around her. She's the anchor of that story. We can go as wild and as crazy as we want because Harley is always herself.
Yeah, I can't picture a character like Batman or even Wonder Woman, Diana, like breaking continuity and then having to be the character that like fixes it. It just kind of, it doesn't work. I feel like Harley is perfectly suited for that.
Yeah, I mean, she breaks the fourth wall. So she has like comic knowledge in a sense. She has insider knowledge that even somebody like Batman doesn't have.
I know.
Harley will sometimes remember that she's in a comic book. So the task of fixing continuity is something that Batman, by the time he wrapped his mind around the problem, it'd already be too late.
You heard it here first, folks. Harley Quinn's smarter than Batman, all right?
Harley Quinn is smarter than Batman. That's canon.
What are some things that you think about when putting together a group of artists like this? Because this book, Harley Quinn number 50, has all these different artists. How did you match up each artist with each sequence?
Boy, it's a crazy process. I mean, we have John Timms. He's our main artist. He does the beginning and the end, and then in the middle, when continuity goes crazy, we have 11 different amazing artists we brought in. They are our all-star guest stars in this big anniversary issue. And I looked at it kind of like, who are you going to invite to a birthday party? You want a good mix of people. You don't want all the same kind of people. Living legends like Will Sportacio, Dan Jurgens, Tom Grummett, John Davis Hunt, who is working on the Wildstorm. He brings a whole different style. Agnes Garabowska, she brings a whole different style. Babs Tarr, she brings an amazing manga sequence into this.
Yeah.
Something like John McCrae, we've seen his work in DC throughout the years. He's the Demon, the Hitman, just tons of amazing work. Never once seen him do a pirate comic. And I had met him earlier this year in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like a mischievous guy. He's got this like glint in his eye.
So you were already like pirate. You're already casting him
I was
in your
like,
brain?
he could have been a pirate in a past life. This is just his vibe, right?
Yeah.
So when I had a list of genres I wanted to play with, and I thought that he could nail it. Turns out he had done a pirate issue of The Demon years ago. So for years he's been like, I really want to do, like, scratch that itch again. That was pure luck. That was pure luck. With somebody like Babs, I know that she and I share a love for shoujo manga, art and anime and everything. Yeah. So I paired her up with a sequence where she could really let her inner shoujo manga artist out. And she really, really did. And it looks so cool. Then a couple times, we just got super lucky at the dinosaur sequence.
Oh, yeah,
the dinosaur
was
sequence,
nuts.
a lot of trouble casting that sequence, and it turns out that Brett Booth is like this, secretly the world's greatest dinosaur artist. He did those pages, he turned those in, my jaw dropped because I'd never seen anything like that out of Brett before, and I was like, well, who knew that he was such a dinosaur master? And editor Alex Antone was like, well, I did. And Andrea Shea, our assistant editor, was like, me too. I was like, well, that's why you have amazing editors on a book like this. And they really did so much work keeping everybody together and keeping this wild and crazy story together and coordinating all these different artists. Alex and Andrea were really the secret weapons on this issue.
That's awesome. Talking bigger picture here, where do you find the inspiration for a story like this, and how do you set up and finish such a wild story?
We got to mention Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti, right? They did an incredible 5-year run of Harley Quinn together, and they did a couple Art Jam issues. They were writing Harley Quinn for 5 years. I've been writing Harley Quinn for 5 issues. So issue 50 is an achievement, it's an accomplishment, but it's barely mine. It's mostly theirs. So I wanted to bring back the Art Jam kind of to honor what they did and what they brought to Harley Quinn.
For the whole series, the whole legacy.
Exactly. The whole 5 years, like, let's keep the tradition going, the tradition that they started. And in terms of, doing a book where you can take the idea of continuity and really twist it and have fun with it, it goes back to a lot of classic DC comics that I loved when I was growing up, like Ambush Bug, Justice League International, Lobo.
A special I grew up with, World's Funnest. Mixed with Zipsel Spitlick and Batmite.
Exactly.
Love that.
And Keith Giffen, he's one of my favorite creators of all time. Legendary DC Comics writer, artist, everything. And he did a lot of those books, and he really brought that sense of irreverence to something that people are very reverent about, which is continuity in these characters. But in my experience is if you can laugh at this stuff and if you can have fun with it, it makes the characters, it makes the concepts, it makes the continuity even stronger. So Keith Giffen was a huge, huge inspiration for me on this.
That's awesome. And I love the little shout out to Who's Who of the DC Universe Update 2018. Is that a real thing, Sam?
2018.
2018?
It is not. It absolutely should be, though. It should be, right?
Please, DC, please.
We need a new edition of Who's Who.
Yes.
Please, I'm begging you.
Speaking of continuity, why is the weapon of continuity, destruction, so powerful? What did you want to say about something so massive and controversial?
People care a lot about it, and they get really invested, and I care a lot about it, too. But a lot of the discussion around continuity gets very strident. It's very black and white. What counts and what doesn't count. And to me, that's a very surface-level reading of why we love continuity, or why continuity is so powerful. To me, it really just comes down to passion. Continuity is not any one person's creation. DC continuity is thousands of people working together across the decades, united by passion for these characters and these stories and these concepts, united by passion for telling stories about heroes and what matters in life. Continuity is powered by love. That's what makes continuity grow and grow every week. That's what's important about continuity, not being strident and divisive. What matters is the love that you put into it.
You, along with so many people, are adding to a massive story that has been happening since 1938. Isn't that great?
A collective
Does that blow
story.
your mind a little bit?
It is one of the longest serialized stories in human history. In human history. Thousands of creators came before me. Thousands of creators will come after me. But being able to have a place in that kind of history, it's a really special thing. So I thought I'd make a lot of fun about it in Harley 50.
Yeah, man. You nailed it. You really did.
Thanks,
That's what it's all about. That's what continuity's about. That's what comics are about.
That's right.
Thank you so much for talking to us
man,
about
thank you very
Harley
much.
Quinn 50, Sam.